FSD is available in Australia, one of the first overseas markets to get access to actual supervised FSD. Australia is leading the charge, and they've got quite a bit going on there. Recently, they had demos where they gave out hundreds, perhaps 600, 700 or more demos of FSD to spectators at the Everything Electric show. So I figured, you know what, we should get a man on the street, our local man on the ground, as it were, to give us some information. This is Ryan from Ryan's Model Y. You can find him on X, link in the description. He's there. He knows what's going on, certainly better than we do. We're going to have a chat. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. So, Ryan, how long did you have a Tesla and waited for FSD?
Oh yeah, it's been a long wait here down under in Australia, so we're very excited to finally have it. We of course are not savvy to the latest updates that you guys have, so we're still running V13 here on hardware 4 cars only. But it has been, years and years of just basic autopilot, and now this has been a massive unlock for us.
I will tell you, version 13 does really well. And there are people who are on version 14 who say, boy, I wish I could roll back to 13. I just yesterday got 14.1.7. I've found it to be so far amazing. I've done maybe 350 miles so far and have had no issues at all. It's pretty amazing. But hey, the version 13 ones have been working great as well. So you said only version hardware 4, which does not represent the majority of cars, at least historically. There's still a lot more hardware 3 than 4 cars out there. Have they given any word to the hardware 3 people?
No, not yet. So there's a little bit of frustration amongst that group, and I was obviously one of those before we made the upgrade to the new Model Y. So hopefully we get some sort of indication. There was an email that was sent out by Tesla Australia to potentially hint at this V14 Lite version coming in Q2 next year, but of course we don't know when that would roll out to Australia. So yeah, time will tell.
It could be that the US gets it in Q2 and Australia gets it later. It could be that
Yeah,
the US does not get it in Q2. Uh,
yeah.
so uh, Timelines have been known to slip. When Ashok shares a timeline, I have a lot more confidence because it looks to me like he only shares timelines once they're actually underway. Once
Yeah.
they're basically validating what they've already got, not hoping for something to become a breakthrough. So if we look at this, we see this is in Australia now. I notice there are no S and X, there are no Cybertruck. Uh,
No.
that's unfortunate. There are
Mm.
no currently no production models of those three that have right hand drive.
Mm.
Have you heard anything about those coming to Australia or coming back, as it were?
Nothing at all, apart from a lot of appetite for people on the ground in Australia to want those cars, especially Cybertruck more recently. We have a massive ute culture, as we call it here. So I think that car would do well. I know it would be priced highly, so there's a question mark around the price tag. But utility of a Cybertruck on Australian outback and all the roads, it would be quite compelling for people.
And the range is, when you get off road, your range is going to go down significantly because it's not smooth, steady, flat driving. But
Mm.
I think off-roaders understand their limits and let them make those choices. I know a lot of people here in the Pacific Northwest who go out off-roading just about every weekend. They go on trails that no other street legal vehicles are on, only like
Mm.
quads and motorcycles, really.
Yeah.
So, in September, we saw this article by Tim Eden saying it's really good. He had some issues, he followed a little too closely and all that. What has been your experience with it so far?
I mean, I don't want to sound dramatic, but for us as a family using FSD all the time, it actually feels quite life changing. So we're really glad that we made the jump to a hardware 4 car in order to take advantage of FSD. And having our daughter in the back and my wife driving all the time and myself, we're in regional Victoria, so we are in the countryside. The roads are definitely quieter out this way, but we have just found it to be an incredible unlock of the car. You know, it going back to standard autopilot now just feels like you are limiting the car unbelievably compared to what it is truly capable of. It makes us feel so much safer. As many people have said, multiple eyes on the road at all times. Yeah, so we've been really, really happy with the product that's shipped thus far.
What is the price tag to purchase FSD in Australian dollars?
Yeah, in Australian dollars outright, it is $10,000 and 100. But to purchase the subscription, it is $149 here, which is what I'm running at the moment.
So this is, if we're looking at it, that means 10,100 Australian dollars is 6,500 US.
Yeah,
And you said 149 a month is
yeah.
$96.16, pretty comparable to US costs.
Mm,
I also am subscribed rather than purchased because here it's 8,080 months to break even is a long time. It's a
yeah.
long time for me. And I don't have $8,000 lying around. Uh,
Mm.
so, what are some successes that you've had with it so far and some failures?
The biggest challenges I've found with this current version is when we're in a city environment and we're coming across really unique intersections that are only in Australia and specifically Melbourne. So we're dealing with trams and hook turns. Now, it still tries them, and I've had it succeed multiple times, but you also see the limitations. Again, once you're reminded this is a driver assistance technology at this point in time, it's phenomenal. It's when you start to look at the lens of, oh, this could never drive me successfully through the city, but it's only going to get better, as you know. And when it comes to the big successes, is just like long road trips, taking the fatigue out of driving. And again, we're in country roads, so it's just really quiet. Takes us into town every day. It's like a 15-minute drive for us, and it feels super comfortable and relaxing.
I will tell you the same thing. When we go on a drive, we use FSD on every drive. When I get back
Yeah.
to the airport and I know I'm going to be exhausted. I know I've got an hour of driving left to do. I don't think twice about it. I just
Mm.
supervise. And for me, it has been an absolute game changer, which brings us to the issue uh, of this, which is at the show, they did at least 600 test drives. Um, we'd heard anything from 600 to 700. I heard one outlet saying 700 plus. People were getting butts in seats. Robert Llewellyn and the gang from Everything Electric, 2-Bit Da Vinci is on the crew there. I've spoken at Everything Electric in 3 different countries. It's a great show. Maybe next year I'll try to get to Australia. It's really far and it's really
Yeah.
expensive. But as you know, but Uh, in terms of the feedback you're hearing from people, are you hearing feedback? What are you hearing?
This was pretty exciting to see. Firstly, I would just comment on the blue marketing that they rolled out. So when you rocked up at the show, it was really obvious that you could test drive full self-driving. I counted over 12 staff that looked like they were dedicated to just doing FSD test rides. There were 20 equipped vehicles ready to go, some of them the brand new Model Y Performance that had just been unveiled at that event. And they did do, I was told officially, 700 test drives over the 3 days. So that is a lot of people experiencing this technology. The feedback that I've heard from multiple people, including some people that were filming their test rides, was things like, oh, wow, it's actually stopping and recognizing the traffic lights. I think the general consensus was people did not really believe that the car would be capable of doing as much as it did. So really, really positive feedback. Everything that Tesla heard as well, speaking to some of the owners group people, was really positive. So I think that they had a dedicated route that the car went on, and it went up and back for everyone, and it just nailed it every time. And I think people were really surprised.
If you can do 700 consecutive flawless drives, I think you're showing people a little glimpse of the future. And like you
Mm.
said, it is only getting better. I know because I have it already. But the reality is, this is a neural net. This is an AI driven system. And with all the AI driven systems, whatever it is, today is the worst it's ever going to be. The only exception to that is sometimes a company will abandon development on something uh, or kneecap it in a way that makes it less fun. So maybe you won't see Mad Max, which would be unfortunate. I feel like Australia without Mad Max would be tragic. Uh,
Yeah.
but uh, but there are big differences. I mean, obviously, in addition to driving on the wrong side of the road. So, I mean, technically in Australia, you're driving upside down and backwards. I think that's a
Yeah.
challenge for FSD, but it's gotten over it. What I would
Well,
say
just
to
quickly on that, Brian, I have noticed a few occasions where it almost is acting as if it's on American roads. So, a really quiet part of the roads here in the countryside, it might actually go onto the wrong side of the road when
oh,
there's no traffic around. And you can quickly correct it. And it's not like a huge safety concern from my point of view, on my experience. But in that moment, it feels like, oh, yeah, you've been trained over in the US and now you're trying to adapt to our roads.
I think that's very much possible. Um,
Mm.
I will remind audiences that Ryan has made a video, and I don't mean a video, I mean he's made a bunch of videos about Tesla, about FSD, about other competitors. Tomorrow, we're going to be having a discussion. Maybe tomorrow, probably tomorrow, we're going to have a discussion about the other competitors in Australia. You've got access to a lot of brands we don't see in the US: BYD, Xiaopeng, and others, and we will cover that as well. But on FSD, um, have you had any other weird things? A question I would have is, how strict are speed limits? I know in some parts of Europe, the speed limit is the limit. Where in the US, it's more of a guideline. I've heard even police say 9 you fly, 10 you buy, meaning just go less than 10 over and you'll be fine, unless they have some other reason they want to stop you. What are the speed limit guidelines in Australia?
I'm laughing because my recent trip to California was when we were on the freeway. I was just so confused why everyone was speeding. So that was an adjustment because, yeah, here in Australia, the speed limit is definitely the speed limit. If you go at all over, you're going to get booked. So it's really strict. FSD's done a good job at being conservative and keeping below that, in my experience.
What we've got, we did a test yesterday where we went through the different speed profiles. We did not hit Mad Max. I don't think on the highway we did hurry, but in Sloth, it will go exactly the speed limit, but it'll still go 5 over to pass someone who's going under the speed limit. And I thought, that's Sloth? Wow, fine for me, but I can see some drivers getting a little frustrated with that because you're not the one paying the ticket. It's still me. Uh,
Yeah.
and a lot of people know, if they live in a little town that has, a speed trap that is used to monetize the entire municipality. That's a thing that happens in some little fiefdoms in the US. Another crazy thing I just learned about recently, a fundamental difference, is how many teaspoons are in a tablespoon? Do you know, Ryan?
No.
Well, apparently in Australia it's 4, and in the US it's 3. Yours is 20 milliliters and ours is 15. How big are your tables, man?
Yeah. Oh, there's an interesting fact. I wasn't aware of that. But yeah, now that you say it, I guess you're right.
Huh.
Mm.
Hmm. Okay. So maybe maybe your cakes are a little sweeter. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think just that would be a pretty interesting one. In your car, just on a personal, professional question, I notice you've got the DJI running. What all is your gear?
Oh, this has been a really interesting one that I've continued to work on. I actually find filming full self-driving videos incredibly challenging, and I'm not sure of your experience, but you can feel like you're on a road and your eyes are seeing this great experience. You go back and you load the footage and you feel like, oh, that didn't really come across on camera. So it's about trying to focus on the road and get what the screen is seeing, and also take out some of the potholes and the bumps we have here. So yeah, I've found that really challenging. What about yourself?
Oh, so I'm using an Insta360 X5 for a lot of it. And then I'll sometimes supplement it with just a second camera that the passenger is in charge of,
Yeah.
to try and capture some more specific things. I know a lot of channels do, the crazy multicam where they then put it all back together in a way that's very logical and all that. But I don't have the patience because I don't get early access. So it's
Yeah.
hard to get views on my FSD videos. And it's
Yeah.
hard to get early access when you don't have a bunch of views. What do? I complain to you. And that I'm sure
Yeah.
will fix the problem. Uh,
I guess I would counter that by saying, yeah, it's a good point. I've been lucky enough to be a part of the early access program here in Australia, which, being one of the first to release content, really did help with the views. So I went all out with the multicam setup, 4 cameras running in the car. It took a long time to edit.
Mhm. Yes,
Mm.
yes, it will. Uh, that's always going to be a trick. Any last thoughts? What happens next in Australia? Do we wait for 14 next? Do we wait for hardware 3? What do you think is going to be the next big thing? And have you heard anything about take rates?
I've heard nothing about take rates. I would be so interested to know now that the subscriptions have just launched or within the last month or so, what that has done to take rates. Because when they released FSD, it was only for those that had purchased it outright. So I
Right.
know a lot of people were waiting for that subscription option. Um, but yeah, what was the first part of your question? Sorry, Brian.
Well, what do you guess is next? Hardware 3 getting version 12 or hardware 4 getting version 14?
Yeah, when it comes to hardware 3 versus whether we get V14 on hardware 4, I really don't know. I guess my Tesla brain would say that V14 will ship to hardware 4 here first, and then they will look for a light version for hardware 3. I feel for all the hardware 3 owners, they're really losing their patience. But yeah, I guess it looks like we're probably going to have to wait regardless till next year for any sort of update, regardless of hardware 4 or hardware 3.
Do you think they'll be doing any free trials for people? In the US, when version 12 came out, we saw a free 1 month trial. When a much higher version of 12, I don't think it was 13, we saw another free month of trial. Is that something you expect?
Great question. I've specifically asked Tesla that, and they have stated that there's no current plans to offer a free trial at all. Initially, there was word that if you purchased a new vehicle, you would get a free trial of
Mm.
30 days included in that. But yeah, there is now no expectation for a free trial, at least from Tesla Australia.
Did you try saying please? Because
Yeah,
just
many
just stand there and be
pleases
like,
on behalf of everyone.
come on, man, come on.
Yeah,
Nope, still no. Worth a shot, worth a shot.
yeah,
Because I think that butts in seats is helpful, but if a big event over 3 days can only get a few hundred, a handful of hundred, it's not going to move the needle as much as letting everyone see what it is. And they've done this twice in the US. Clearly it worked, or they wouldn't have done it a second time. I don't know, man. I don't know. So yep.
I've also come across multiple people recently that have said to me, "Oh, I don't even use autopilot in the car," in the sense of they're too reluctant to even embrace that technology, yet they have a hardware 4 car that's capable of so much more. This is something I'm sure you see over in the US, but it's like, oh, can you just try it? So I do agree with you. I mean, maybe they wouldn't even try a free trial of FSD if they're not using the autopilot in their car. But yeah, there's got to be a way, maybe through videos like mine, to try and reach Australians into at least giving it a shot.
Well, when we were at the shareholder meeting recently, a friend turned to me and said, "People outside this room don't know what we know." And I said,
Yeah,
"I've been telling them to like and subscribe, but they just won't do it." So
yeah.
that's an opportunity. You can like and subscribe here. You can like and subscribe over on Ryan's page. Check it out. There will be links below, including to the FSD on Australia 1 month later video, which I found very insightful and interesting. Guys, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? Leave it. I beg of you. Everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots in tomorrow's thrilling conclusion.